All right, what's going on, guys? We are now live. So today is going to be a similar Q&A as I did last week. Last week I mixed the topical subject and also paired it or mixed it with the questions I answered from the week from like my social medias and stuff. And that one seemed to go better doing it that way. So this is going to be one like that one I did last week. But for the topical subject I'm going to talk about myofascial release, or I mean, this is also known as just like foam rolling or massage rolling. I'm going to talk about a few studies. I have like the one-page summary that I'm going to go through and just talk about some studies I looked at, some review articles and stuff like that, and see what you guys think about it. If you guys have heard anything about myofascial release or your guys' experiences, that'd be cool too. But hey, what's up, hello? I'm also going to be answering questions from the week, including can you increase your vertical without weights, and what is my diet, or what is my current diet right now? But to talk about the myofascial release to start off with, it's so I did a Q&A before about just talking about fascia and kind of what it was, and just to kind of review that, it's basically just like a connective. It's connective tissue it's just like it's one system that's connected throughout your whole body, and I feel like. I mean, I've seen in videos and stuff, people talk about how, if you have an injury in one spot, this can be a reason why you might experience injury or pain in another spot because of the webbing of fascia. And if you have an injury in one spot, how it could connect to pain either above or below where the pain point actually is. So yeah, this fascia is just basically a connective tissue that runs throughout your whole body, and it's just one fluid system. So to talk about myofascial release and actually what it is, and some studies, what some studies have found with it, and doing like foam rolling and stuff like that. Um, Again, it could be done with foam rollers or any other type of rolling massagers, like such as the stick ones, if you guys have seen those, or just typical foam rollers. I mean, there's like a bunch of different sizes for them, but if you guys have used those before, I'm sure you know what those are. Um, but the main point of using these would be to increase range of motion. This was a common thing throughout all the studies I looked at, was how foam rolling and this myofascial release can increase range of motion, but might not necessarily increase strength or force output. So I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Um, so I'm going to talk about one study that actually looked at 10 other studies and found that range of motion was increased. And this was like the first study I looked at. They found that range of motion was significantly increased, but muscle function had no significant change. I thought that was pretty interesting to see that range of motion increase, but actual muscle function didn't change. And I looked at another review that found the same positive effect on range of motion, and also found a positive effect to muscle soreness or delayed DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. So that was like the second major point that I found, aside from range of motion increasing, was the positive effect that foam rolling can have on delayed onset muscle soreness or just muscle fatigue overall. Which, I mean, if you guys have ever used a foam roller, you guys might experience, feeling like looser after, being able to move a little bit better after foam rolling. But yeah, those are just some of the key points from those two studies that I found. And then in that review I talked about, there were multiple tests carried out with foam rolling and roller massager. So again, the foam roller just being the styrofoam one, and then the roller massage being like the stick type massager. They tested hip range of motion, ankle range of motion. Let's see, I have it written here: knee range of motion, and then a sit and reach test with. So they tested it both with foam rollers and the stick massagers. And in both tests, for foam rolling and the stick massagers, there was an increase in all range of motion. So ankle, knee, hip, sit and reach. There was an increase in range of motion in all those tests. Um, but one of the key things that they found was with the sit and reach test, they found that when foam rolling was paired with static stretching, it was actually better than just static stretching alone. So I think I have the percentages. So with static stretching alone, the range of motion was increased 6.2%, but when it was paired with the foam rolling, the range of motion increased by almost 10%. It was 9.2 or 9.1. So that's one of the key points they found there. Hey, what's up, Peter? Let's see. Oh yeah. So with those, there was the increase in range of motion, increase in the sit and reach with the static plus foam rolling. However, the maximal voluntary contraction and muscle performance did not significantly change in that study, and that's what I was talking about before. That was one of the other common key points, is that maximal voluntary maximal voluntary contraction was didn't change significantly in any of the studies except for one, and I found, and it actually found an increase in the maximal. Actually, I don't want to get the phrase wrong. Let's see. So there's another study that tested foam rolling as a recovery tool and found that range of motion increase, which is, like I said, that was common among pretty much all the studies I looked at, and voluntary contraction properties, but it did not change except in voluntary muscle activation and vertical jump. So that was the one study I looked at that actually found that there was a positive, there's a significant increase in voluntary muscle activation with vertical jump. That was the only one I found that actually had that significant increase in the activation and vertical jump. So, I mean, it just seems like with what I read about myofascial release, is it's a good tool to use in terms of like recovery and increasing your range of motion. But if you're trying to correlate it to like increasing your force output, or I mean, there was that one study that like I just talked about that found that there was an increase in vertical jump height after the myofascial release, that could also be like a potential benefit of doing it. But in terms of like actual force output and stuff, then I mean, I've also talked about here before how having too much flexibility, I mean, you guys can look this up, and it was referred to in the studies I looked at too. If you're over flexible, that could also hinder your strength, like your strength and your force output. So it's kind of just finding that middle ground, and just kind of learning what's best for your body and how you feel doing whatever method you're using in terms of recovery or stretching. But like you talked about before, I feel like dynamic is a good dynamic stretching. And I mean, if you want to do this myofascial release for like recovery or increasing your range of motion, then that's good. But in terms of, you don't want, it's just like I said, you want to find like that middle ground, not overdo one side or the other. Peter asked me, when is your next Instagram video? Peter, I'll probably be doing one. It just rained today. Otherwise I probably would have done one today, but I might do one tomorrow or Sunday. What's Saturday, Sunday? Yeah, I'll probably do one tomorrow again. I'm going to go back to that rim and dunk. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll post on my story before I actually go live, so you know when I'm actually going to do it. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to cover with the myofascial release. If you guys want to check out like any of the studies I looked at or anything, they're in the description below. I referenced them. I look at a lot of studies from like PubMed. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, where I'll go through like my school library references and get full studies that way. So if you guys want to check those out, again, they're in the description. But yeah, now I'm just going to get into answering questions from the week and just answer more of your guys' questions. If you guys want to put them in the chat, I will definitely answer those. But the first question I got was from, I believe it was Indiana Pacer 77 on Instagram. I'm going to bring it up right now. He's asked me this recently. He was talking about me going to for my 50-inch vertical, and okay, yeah, here we go. He was just basically like asking me, do I think you can increase your vertical or get to like a 50-inch vertical even without lifting weights or just practicing jumping? And my take on that is kind of, I look at working out and training and weight training and all this stuff. I looked at all that stuff as like tools to help you improve your jumping or improve your, help you increase your vertical. I don't think that necessarily doing just all workouts or, just lifting weights is going to get you the vertical you want if you're going to kind of make jumping secondary. Like I feel like if you want to increase your vertical, then jumping definitely has to be either number one or has to be like right up there with almost like an application of the strength and of the training that you're doing. So I mean, I definitely think you can increase your vertical without weights. I just think that adding the tools, which would be like, weightlifting or doing some type of like unilateral movement training or just jump training, plyometric training, stuff like that. I feel like those are all tools to kind of just accelerate the process and kind of help you along the journey or along the way of increasing your vertical or just getting stronger or faster, whatever your goal is. So I feel like that's kind of my take on increasing your vertical without weights. I mean, in terms of getting like a 50-inch vertical, or if you could just merely try to, reach a point that you can't reach yet if your body will naturally adapt. I feel like that's a whole another argument, but I mean, I feel like there could be a good argument to be made. I just feel like, um, I feel like it would just it's hard to actually find like a solid evidence that that could happen because it would just take a lot longer. So I mean, not to say that it can't happen, but it would definitely take a lot longer to try to reach that point without weights. Because I mean, I feel like the reason I feel like it could happen is because I mean, I think that I feel like our bodies would adapt through if you're putting it through jumping, or if you're putting it through like trying to jump 50 inches, then I feel like your body's naturally going to get better and adapt to the movement that you're doing, or whatever it is that you're trying to reach or jump at or whatever. So I feel like in terms of adaptation that it could happen, but it might just take a lot longer than if you had the tools of like weights or more specific training. And Peter said, "I seen your clean windmill video." Thanks, Peter. Yeah, if you guys didn't see that video on Instagram, I just hit a windmill on 9/7 a couple days ago. That was my the first windmill I posted, but that was probably the cleanest one I've got yet. It was probably only like the second. I think it was like, yeah, like the second or third one I've got, and it took me like 25-30 minutes to get that one in that video. That's why I had to repost it because when I got done with the live stream, the live stream didn't post, and then also didn't save, so I had to like take a separate video from another phone and then repost it. It was a mess, but I still got to post it. So I'm gonna go for that again tomorrow. If you guys want to check out that live stream tomorrow, I'm gonna go for another windmill on 9/7. But to get into the next question, is from a YouTube comment. Let's see. Oh, and I also got a question from Andy Nicholson. He's the over the hill dunker, if you guys know him. He was asking me, or he said that the gym I work out at is. He said that gym is amazing. Is that at a college? And I've answered this question in the past, but no, it's actually the gym that I go to when I'm back home from school. So it's just, I feel like I've said it before, but I feel really lucky to go to that gym because of just how, like, I've never seen a gym like that where it's like a public gym. I mean, I've seen like functional training gyms and stuff like that, but they usually cost a lot more money. But this is just like the gym that's in my town, and it's just really nice for like functional stuff because they have like the turf area and all that stuff, so it's really cool. But the other question, let's see. Oh, Jeffrey Jack asked me what is my diet. So right now my diet is consists of like 1,700 calories, and I mean it's basically like I try to keep so the way that I balance my diet, I guess, is like I try to stick to like 85%, eating healthy, like nutrient dense foods. And then, if the other 10% or whatever of my calories or 15% is coming from like less healthy foods, and I don't see that as that big of a deal. But again, like I try to stick to like 85-90% of like fruits, vegetables, like lean meats, like high protein, higher complex carb. Like the cereal I just had this morning, it's like 12 grams of protein, like 10 grams of fiber, kashi goline, if you guys want to look into that. But yeah, that's like what my diet consists of right now. Um, Nothing too strict. I mean, I track everything, just to stay in like a range and make sure I'm not like putting on any unneeded weight or anything. So yeah, that's how my diet is right now, though. Hillel said that gym is heaven. Yeah, it's definitely it's a fun place to be at. Hillel, I easily spend like a couple hours there every time I go. So Tolga Tunsil, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He said hello, follow you from Turkey. Shout out to Turkey. I know I talked about this before, but I mean, the people in the chat right now, they're from I'm pretty sure they're from 3 different countries. I think, Hillel, you said you're in Israel, and then Peter is in Ireland, and then Tolga is in Turkey. Is that right now? I just think it's so cool that I could talk to people from all around the world and, have a conversation with them and stuff. So it's cool. If like I said, if you guys ever have any questions, just leave them in the chat, and I will definitely answer them. But yeah, those are the questions that I wanted to answer. Tolga, how many days you do cardio? I don't do cardio. I mean, the cardio I do is I play basketball, and my workouts are intense. So, I mean, I don't do like strict cardio in terms of like running on the treadmill or. Oh no, it's okay. Um, oh yeah, I don't do like any cardio in terms of like running on the treadmill or like the stairmaster, um, elliptical or anything like that. If I, if I feel like I need to get cardio in or something, I'll just play basketball. Even though I still try to stick to only playing basketball like once or twice a week, just to, I mean, because basketball is like a whole nother, it's like a whole nother workout, in terms of like wearing your body down. So I don't like to overdo it with playing basketball or anything. So just try to stick to like 1 or 2 days a week of that extra cardio, I guess. OKC for Life suggested that I should try weighted Bulgarian squats. I'll definitely try those next time. I don't know if you guys saw the contrast work I just posted, but I was doing it was like a deadlift type contrast. So I did like a deadlift move and then a hex bar deadlift with like 30% weight, and then I went for that 10-7 touch off 2 feet. So that was the first time I actually went for that 10-7 touch off of 2 feet, or off of 2 steps. And I got pretty close, but I feel like that's gonna be one of the next goals, is to touch that off of 2 steps. Because I've gotten it off of running multiple times, but I haven't gotten it off of 2 steps yet. Hillel said, so what's your vert right now? I mean, I don't know my standing vert right now, Hillel, but with the 2 measurements I did with my running vert, it was like between 38 and 40. Because I got like the 10-7, and then I got the 10-7 running touch, and then I got like the 10-9, 10-8 touch. But Hillel, I want to do it with a Vertec to kind of get a more accurate measurement of that. Peter said, I'm so close to touching 10-foot rim now. That's awesome, Peter. Are you jumping off of 1 foot? I think I remember. If I remember right, you're jumping off 1 foot still. And Brennan said, I'm from Brazil. Hey, what's up, Brennan? From Brazil. He said he is 160 meters, 19 years old. Let's see, I'm about to convert that. One. Toga asked me what my body weight is. So my body weight is um my body weight is 163. I'm actually gonna weigh myself again in the next couple days. But yeah, my body weight is 163. And by the way, guys, I'm gonna be going to Florida in a couple weeks. So I don't know if you guys saw that they're gonna be doing those dunk sessions again. So I'm planning on being there in a couple weeks to dunk a couple times with them. So you guys will see those videos coming up soon too. I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun. But let's see. I mean, okay, so I want to ask you guys, because I've been asked a lot about jumping workouts and stuff before, and I've gotten a couple more of those. Like, can you name a common question? Is just like, sorry, it's like lost my train of thought. A common question is just like, what kind of exercises can you recommend for increasing your vertical, or like, can you help me make a program for jumping and stuff like that? So like, what are you guys' takes on like jump like how many, if you have you guys ever done any jump programs before? I guess if there's anybody in that would want to talk about their experience with that, or I mean, if you guys have just done like jumping stuff before, like just your own jump training. So Hillel said, is that going to be your first time in Florida? I mean, I have family in Florida, Hillel, but that'll be my first time dunking there. Yeah, with the other guys that are down there. Peter said you should do a back scratcher on the 9-7 rim. Peter, I don't know. I feel like I know what dunk that is, but I didn't know that that's what it was called. I'm gonna look it up though. Back. I think I know which one that is though. Is that the one where you flip your hands like behind you? I'm looking at this video right now. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll try that one, Peter, next time. Is it just with the two hands, like you touch the top of your back? Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's see, Peter. Tolga said, "What is your opinion about powerlifting? It is beneficial for vertical jump if we eat clean." Yeah, so Tolga, I've talked about powerlifting on here before, but it's so basically powerlifting is actually more like force lifting. So I mean, it's called that because so the true powerlifting would be considered like Olympic lifting because power in turn is like alluding to moving a specific amount of weight fast, whereas powerlifting, as it's labeled, is moving a heavy amount of weight just to get it off the ground. So whether it's like fast or slow, it's just moving a heavy amount of weight. Whereas with real like powerlifting, where you're actually applying like max power, that would be more of like Olympic lifting. So if you want to do some type of lifting like that, then powerlifting would be better for like increasing your strength and your force output, but um, Olympic lifting would be better for like speed and actual power output. Halal said, "Yeah, I meant about the big session that they have every month." Yeah, so that'll be my first time dunking with those guys. And Peter said, "Yeah, tomahawk." Yeah, I'll definitely go for that tomorrow, Peter. Today I was thinking of recording a workout at the gym or doing like some like active stretching and stuff or active rest stuff like mobility and all that. But yeah, the reason I asked about like the jump exercise and program and stuff is because I mean I was thinking of just like making like coming up with something, but then again, I feel like everybody's at a different place with jumping, with jump training and all that. So I mean, because I mean I don't myself believe in like that there's a one size fits all plan, but you know I feel like if somebody's going to start a program, that it should be like a pretty long drawn out program, just to start from like the beginning. Uh, Peter asked me, "What is my favorite dunk of all time?" That's a good question. Honestly, probably that Vince Carter Olympic dunk over like that 7-footer. That one was pretty crazy, just because of how high he got. Um, yeah, that's probably the one that stands out to me the most. Just because that was an in-game dunk too, and it was just so like, I mean, he was just on a fast break. Yeah, totally that one. He said Vince Carter dead dunk. Yeah, probably that one just because it was like I said, it was on like it was in game in the Olympics and I'm pretty sure it was on a fast break. LeBron's shoulder at the rim in high school. I don't think I saw that one. Hello. I know LeBron had another one. He had one in game of like jumping over. He jumped over someone too. Peter said, "Oh yeah, I like the dunk when Terrence Ross dunked on for Reed." Hello said you got to see it. All right, I'll look it up right now. We'll watch it real quick. Let's see. Told I don't know any. I don't think I know any Turkish basketball players, unless there's any in the NBA. I might have heard of them. All right, hello. Look, I'm looking up this dunk. Um, oh yeah, I know who that is. Is it Hito Turkoglu? Yeah. Yeah. Hello, do you know like a link to that dunk? Yeah, I just looked up LeBron shoulder dunk. I don't know if that. Yeah, hello, I don't see it on here right now. If you find the link or if you have the link to it, just send me it. I'll look it up. But yeah, I'm gonna look at to some more questions on my Instagram right now to answer. Mm. Yeah, I've got questions before, or I got another one too about like workouts you could do if you don't have a gym, like if you don't have access to a gym, and there's like a lot you could do. I mean, in terms of like you could do like frog jumps or burpees, explosive push-ups, single leg hops, bounds, depth jumps, drop jumps. I mean, there's a bunch of different stuff you could do if you guys don't have access to a gym, in terms of like working on jumping or explosion. So yeah, those are pretty good. Or I mean, another one that's always good is like just jumping for height, like trying to just jump as high as you can, put as much. I was just reading like a Just Fly article about jumping, and it was just really focusing on max jumping. Like if you're not practicing max jumping, then you're just training, to basically like half or three-quarter jump all the time. So that's something I'm gonna be more conscious of, is just working on max jumping. And that's why with like the contrast training workout, I like to incorporate something like the two-step 10-7 touch or something like that, because it's pushing me to attempt like a max jump. So Peter said I have to go. I have to be up early in the morning. Bye, Mike. Keep it up, man. I'll see you in the next Instagram live stream. All right, thanks, Peter. Have a good one. Thank you for joining the live stream, and I'll be on that live stream tomorrow doing the low rim dunk session. If you guys haven't checked out the low rim dunk session, it's on my Instagram at LikeMikeBarrins. I've been doing a couple of those recently. I just like work on my off the dribble stuff and like some more trick dunk type stuff on a 9-7 rim. I like that height because it's still like I still have to jump my hardest, but I could still work on like trick dunks and stuff that I can't do on 10 yet. So it's just good practice. All right, Tolga said, "See you later." It's 2 p.m. in Turkey and I have to sleep. All right, see you, Tolga. Thanks for joining the live stream. Hello, I might add some barefoot stuff in tomorrow, like dunking barefoot. Are you still doing the hyper arc, like the hyper arc exercises and stuff? We're probably gonna end this live stream soon. Hello said, "Oh great." Yeah, I've never tried dunking actually without shoes on, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end this live stream. If you guys have any more questions, just leave them in the chat. But I'm probably gonna do these like more often like this on Friday, where I pick like the topic and then do. I'll also answer questions from the week. I've gotten a lot of comments this week, but not as many questions. So hopefully next week I'll get more questions and have it on here. So yeah. But yeah, hello. If you could make it to the live stream tomorrow, I'll be doing some barefoot stuff. I might actually do it to like warm up. That'll be fun. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the live stream here. So thank you guys all for joining. Um, Again, I'll be doing another one of these Friday. I'll be posting another workout probably within the next couple of days, because if I don't record one today, I'll record one either tomorrow after dunking or Sunday. So stay tuned for another workout video, more dunking stuff and jumping stuff. But that's it for this live stream. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later.